Welcome everyone to another video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at HoldinMacGroin. Quick story before we dive into this video. HoldinMacGroin, if I might be saying this story incorrectly, but when he came back to Pokemon Go when PvP was announced, he changed his name to HoldinMacGroin because he wanted people to say his name looking for him, saying like I'm looking for HoldinMacGroin or whatever, and have people all stare at them. So, but anyways, now he's too well known, too good of a trainer for that joke to be funny for people. But Evan, as I like to call him, is rocking Munchlax, Skarmory, Wishcash, Blastoise, Bastiodon, Dragonite, and his first opponent is Suzy with Lantern, Lapras, Heracross, Skarmory, Altaria, and Execute. And HoldinMacGroin is part of the very elite Toronto trainers, the ones that really beat up on each other and really represented really well in North America's largest tournament. So let's go ahead and take a look at his run through Safari Cup. I only have 5 of his 8 matches because 3 of them were on stream and he was unable to record them, but he did very well in those battles as well. So let's go ahead and start with, he's leading with Bastiodon into this team, which is a very interesting decision, mostly because Bastiodon is very weak to Heracross, but has very good matchups against virtually the rest of her team. And he's going to go for this Bulldoze, which is a slightly risky move, mostly because if this Bulldoze does get shielded, then it's going to do a lot of damage. And he's going to go for this Body Slam before the Lantern is able to get off a second Thunderbolt. So it does shield, and I'm curious on whether or not he will shield or not. He does decide to shield. And gonna farm a little bit. Gonna get off this Body Slam. And is probably gonna get faded out almost right away. Yes. Oh, almost. Okay. It did do a little bit of damage to that Skarmory, a little bit more than I thought it would. I expect a switch out. And it switches out to Skarmory to face the opposing Lapras. This is a favorable matchup for Lapras, but because he has such a strong matchup in the back with Bastiodon, it really doesn't matter. He doesn't really need to shield too much. And here comes back-to-back surfs. So nice attempt at the self piggyback on Suzy's side. And I'm assuming that she's just going to try to fade down. She's going to be able to survive this Sky Attack. And fade down and going to be able to double surf. Nope, okay. Switching it to Skarmory. No shield. That Flash Cannon, if it was going to be a Flash Cannon, would have did a decent amount of damage to Bastiodon, but he took that risk because he kind of needed the shields for Lapras in the back, even though this is like pretty much a one game. Not really much that Skarmory can do. And here comes the Surf. Here comes the Shield. Surf wouldn't do a super ton of damage, but able to KO the Lapras. So Holden does take match number 1. And let's see how he adapts. Do. All right, just debating whether to come. I think it's gonna switch leads into Munchlax, and let's see how these two decide to square off. Okay, gonna lead Munchlax into Skarmory. This is a pretty neutral matchup. Oh, okay, switches to Bastiodon, which is like a little bit risky move. Heracross is not the best counter user against Bastion because it is taking neutral damage to those counters, and that as well that flamethrower would KO it. Let's see. I'm assuming Skarmory. This close combat will do quite a bit of damage. Okay. Mega Horn, definitely not the right move. Close combat would have did like 60-70% damage onto Skarmory, which would have put her in a way better position. And lands that Sky Attack. I'm curious on what she has in the back. And down a shield. Yeah, like this would be way closer if she did land the close combat. Gonna tank another one, or it's gonna shield. Does have a ton of energy built up, and comes with Altaria, but man, so many body slams are coming right now. There's one, there's two, and enough energy for the Bulldoze too. So there's definitely energy in the bag. Was definitely at 100, and gonna land this third body slam, which is so devastating to Altaria. And this lick damage is still chunking away. Gonna take care of this Munchlax before another body slam comes. Unfortunately, the Skarmory in the back has energy, and it's GG in for round number 1. Well played and adapted. I think if she had like Hitmonchan instead of Heracross, would have fared a little bit better in that matchup against Bastion. So going up against Scrublord, another infamous trainer, does catch the lead with Lantern. Is going to switch out to Munchlax, a pretty safe switch. Does switch out after building up a little bit of energy. Does have the Mudshot Poliwrath, so these power up punches are going to do a lot of damage. This body slam as well is going to put a little bit of pressure onto this Poliwrath. So we'll see if the shield comes up the second time, or if it's going to let it tank it. Does tank it. HoldinMacGroin should be able to get off one more body slam, and then I expect another power punch come up pretty shortly afterwards. And okay, shield. I'm not sure that's the right play. Gonna switch out into Skarmory, trying to chip away as much damage as possible. Unfortunately, it's caught into the Lantern. If he would have switched, I don't know. The thing is, like, the switch clock was pretty close up when he did the body slam, but unfortunately the Poliwrath did another charge move, which then allowed Scrublord to switch out pretty quickly out of that matchup. So it should come. Okay, I think that's the right move. Definitely just farm. Just farm up. And then. Okay, definitely don't think that's the right move. Yeah, I definitely don't think that was the right move. Mostly because I do think that Scrublord would have came back in with his Poliwrath and then would have been able to KO it. And then there's nothing in the back that could beat Bastion. In this case, like, Skarmory is very easy to beat. There's nothing in the back that could beat Bastion, shields down, even energy. So I do think staying in with Munchlax would have been the right answer. So it ended up being a pretty costly decision for Holden, but Holden takes huge risks, which both helps his gameplay and hurts his gameplay. I think if he curtailed a little bit of the risk and read that matchup in the back a little bit better, then I think he definitely would have won. So leading with Munchlax into Lantern, this is a favorable matchup for Munchlax. It's similar to the matchup with Vigoroth in Lantern. Obviously, the body slams, bulldoze, very much mirror it. High energy generation, does generate energy a little faster, a little less damage on the fast move, but also Munchlax is tankier than Vigoroth. So Lantern not able to get off that second Thunderbolt, which is going to end up like being pretty costly. And gonna body slam, and not gonna be able to get off this last body slam before being fainted down. Curious on how this matchup will go. Does have Wishcash in the back, and Wishcash does stay in, and I don't know. Okay, it's really tough decision on man. Yeah, that was a tough decision, because if he would have got baited, then he would have lost for sure. And oh, man, doesn't shield. It's a tough play. I think he loses regardless, but I think Scrub Lord need to switch right away, because there's no Pokemon on Holden side that beats Ivysaur or worse. I don't know in what situation you wouldn't shield or wouldn't switch right away, but that's quite alright. It's a good play on Holden side. And then gonna come in Skarmory versus Munchlax. As you can see, these licks are doing a ton of damage, building up for that self piggyback. Little short. It's a little difficult to count because like Lick is one turn moves, but essentially I think it generates 8 energy per turn or 4 energy per Lick. So once you get to the Bulldoze, which I think is 60 energy, then you need to do 5 more Licks to be not 5 more Licks, 3 more Licks to get to the enough energy to do back-to-back body slams. So feeling pretty. This is a pretty good matchup for Holden. Obviously, the Mudshots are doing almost no damage. Well, okay, I don't think that's the right move. Debatable. Gonna switch out into Bastiodon. Lantern. All he needs to do is make sure he shields the Hydro Pump. If it's Thunderbolt, then he's fine. And gonna be able to land the Stone Edge, and just needs to shield this second move, which is gonna be a Thunderbolt, and then gonna be able to KO this Lantern, and then gonna need to switch out ASAP into Skarmory, because you definitely don't want this Poliwrath to ramp up damage onto the ramp up energy, and then ramp up multiple power punches, and then eventually take out this Skarmory. So now going up against Mario Master, who's leading with the Vigoroth, expecting the Munchlax. This is a favorable matchup for Vigoroth if they go deep into 2 shields. Again, this a little bit of lag. Vigoroth's counters are doing neutral damage to Skarmory. Oh wow, can Skarmory win this with no... Vigoroth can survive this Sky Attack, but does get 2 shields. Okay, well, definitely should just farm down at that point in time. If you're going to commit 2 shields, you might as well just farm down and have a ton of energy. And going to come in with Dragon Knight. This Dragon Knight's going to have to shield. It's very squishy. Would be in a way better position if he didn't expend that energy onto Oh man, Steelix is gonna. And this is not good for. Gonna switch out into Ludicolo, which should be a good matchup for Ludicolo. Maybe, I don't know. This body slams are definitely gonna add up. Gonna be able to at least get it to pretty low. The question is, can this Ludicolo get to this? It's definitely gonna get to the bulldoze. Gonna burn the last shield. And body slam is gonna do quite a bit to this Steelix, but it's pretty much over. In my opinion, if Mario Master would have just fainted down the Skarmory, then the double body slamming would have forced his last shield onto the Dragonite, and then they would have been even shields, and it would have been a much better situation for Mario Master. So he ended up costing himself. Let's see how he decides to play it out this time. And let's see if he decides no shields or he's going to shield, and he's going to, if he wants a double shield, he can. And I would like half charge this. Or maybe, no, don't back-to-back body slam. Just faint it down, man. No. Blastoise, I'm assuming. This Blastoise it might have to shield. Gonna come with Ludicolo. He's looking to back-to-back bodies. I think he was a little short on the back-to-back. Let's see. Yeah, a little short. He needs to do a few more licks on Holden's side. Oh, wow. Jesus, man. Don't you know you have a Blastoise in the back? That's the oh, man. Okay. Very much a cowboy. Okay, all right. Well, up 2 shields, but, it definitely would have did a lot of damage to that Blastoise before it would have KO'd the Ludicolo, so, this Skarmory really needs to definitely body slam, and then definitely wants to KO. Oh man, Holden is man. That was a huge risk on his side, not fainting down the. Wow. Okay. Jesus. Well, it paid off. Okay. Now he's up against Meat Potatoes guy. Again, we've seen this matchup already. Does go for Munchlax. I don't think a lot of people know that it goes for Munchlax, but they should kind of figure that it's pretty similar to the Vigoroth matchup, except you're dealing with a tankier Pokemon and a Pokemon that does less damage on its fast move. So it does land the bulldoze, and then able to take out the Lantern. Let's see if the Lantern decides to shield. Does not. Has Toxicroak as a fire to punish it, but is going to punish it with a Victory Bell. But exposing that Victory Bell is going to be very costly, because it's going to come with a Azumarill. And let's see if there's Ice Beam or Play Rough. It's going to be an Ice Beam. Oh man, I don't know. You can't really bait on Holden. I don't know if they had enough energy for a Play Rough. Oh man, is this Blastoise really beating up on this Azumarill? Gonna Play Rough. I think, in my opinion, should just went straight playoffs. Oh man, do you want a shield against? No, it doesn't want a shield. Oh man, but now, what are you gonna do now? What are you gonna do now? It's pretty much over. It's gonna shield just for the sake of shielding, but really doesn't need to shield, and doesn't even need to fire off a charge move. Just gonna be able to finish off this with fast moves, and it's a wrap there. So, some misplays on Meat Potatoes guy, but after losing that lead, it was going to be pretty difficult to come back from. So, oh man, even comes with Dragonite in the back, knowing that he has a Azumarill in the back. So let's curious on how these two will decide to play it out. Okay, well, this is a very favorable matchup for HoldinMacGroin. And here comes a really favorable matchup for Dragonite. Gonna hit this Dragon Claw, which is gonna do a ton of damage with that crazy attack stat of Dragonites. Well, not a ton of damage, so enough damage. And then I don't know if Dragonite could survive that. It's very squishy, but able to feint it down. Let's see if Azumarill is in the back. No, it's Victory Bell. Okay, all right. Not a great situation for Victory Bell at all. Really curious on. Oh, okay. Toxic Crow. Yeah, a team comp that's very weak to this Dragonite. And Dragonite almost able to get it off. So, and it's gonna shield. And then can just feint down this. Oh man, Sludge Bomb is probably not the right answer. Mud Bomb, single resisted, is probably better than a double resisted Sludge Bomb. No stab. At least that's what I'm guessing. So able to take that match, and now moving on to against. Was that 2 matches? Yeah, it is. Okay. Now going up against Guan, rocking that double flyer, Lantern, Wish Cash, Munchlax, and Victory Bell lineup. So now we're seeing a Munchlax mirror. So let's see how these two decide to play it out. These licks are double resisted, no stab. They're both aiming to double piggyback. Holden pulling the trigger first. And Guan basically doing it at the same time. And Guan able to land that first body slam, able to self piggyback. And Holden, knowing exactly where those bubbles are, he's probably done hundreds, if not 1,000 plus body slams. So because Guan is able to self piggyback, is slightly ahead on energy. So does put Holden in a little bit of a bind. And switching in and catching that body slam. Nice timing. Beautiful timing. It's very precise timing. But let's see. Mirroring with Skarmory. But the Skarmory does have a slight energy advantage. So let's see how both these guys basically doing the same thing, right? They're basically looking. These people scrim against each other a ton. And basically know each other's strategies down to the wire. No shield. Holden really needs to hit this Sky Attack, which he does. I don't know what he has in the back. Oh man, Holden, you gotta undertap that. You gotta undertap the. Okay, all right. Gonna come in with Munchlax. Let's see if he's gonna be able to get this. He should be able to get it off beforehand. She does. Oh man, they mirrored it completely. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, these are certainly two people that know each other extremely well. Caught the Mud Bomb. Let's see. It's really a game of who's going to shield the blizzard. Or they going to straight mud bomb the entire way. These are definitely two people that know each other extremely well. It's going to come down to like each individual little advantage that one each brings to the table. Like Holden definitely would be way ahead if he landed that if he would have landed that sky attack and didn't overtap. Gonna shield up. Oh, they times up. And Holden loses. Wow. Okay. Jesus. Okay. Good game one. Well, yeah, man. That's they were super close there. Like if Holden would have been able to land that mud bomb against Guan, then he might have won. So they're gonna lead with Munchlax again. Let's see how each other played out. In theory, Holden should have CMP and therefore should have the advantage in this mirror match. But Guan was able to successfully land that self piggyback while Holden was not able to. This is going to be super important for Holden to hit this body slam before Guan is able to, which he is able to. So no self piggyback on Guan's side. A little easier to self piggyback if you have CMP. And it's going to let it go. And then it's going to look to self piggyback. It's kind of a dangerous move, to be honest. Doesn't want to elect to lose. He should have CMP. Switches out to Skarmory. Beautiful switch. Let's see if he does what he's going to bring out. He's going to bring out Blastoise. And going to look to self-piggyback with this Hydro Cannon. Hydro Cannon, less energy. Guan definitely aiming for that self-piggyback, which he does get. Man, that was a nice play. Gonna survive. I don't know, maybe farm up a little bit more would have been better. Oh, Skarmory able to get off the charge move. Is up a shield though, so let's see how important that shield ultimately ends up being. And needs to precisely count. Guan, gonna get off this sky attack. Holden sticking to his gun, saying this sky attack doesn't do a lot of damage. I'm gonna farm up. Oh, here comes the body slam. Not gonna shield. Oh my gosh, Jesus. Okay, all right. Does he have Victory Bell in the back? Oh no, he's Wish Cash in the back, man. I have no idea how Holden could possibly pull this off. But I think he's going to be able to. He did miss a bubble there, which is pretty big. Oh man, able to get off that. Oh my gosh. I think Guan did have the energy for it, but he knew he needed to feint down that Munchlax. Oh wow, okay. That was some risky plays on Holden's side. It definitely would have been a way more comfortable matchup if he literally shielded any other move beforehand. Well, I guess Guan could have potentially went for a Blizzard, which would have been a harder hitting move, so it's a tough call, but... This is a pretty neutral matchup. Munchlax does win in the one shield. So let's see how these two decide to play it out. Oh man, I'm actually a little surprised that Guan is over farming this Down 2 shields. Oh man, this is a huge uphill battle for him. Not going to shield. Oh, Dragon Pulse. I am definitely don't think that was the... I don't know. Maybe it ends up being the right move because he gets the Sky Attack off anyways. But certainly... I guess he knowing Holden that he wasn't going to shield anyways, so he's going to switch out to Dragonite. Oh man, what does he have in the back? He has Munchlax in the back. These Dragon Claws are certainly going to do a lot of damage. And going to shield. But these Dragon Breaths are doing a ton of damage to this Munchlax. And probably not going to shield this next Body Slam. Oh, it doesn't even get to the Body Slam. It would have been a much closer matchup if he did get to the Body Slam. Just because like it would have put this yeah, and that's GG there. So that's a wrap. Oh man, really excellent play on Holden's side. He ended up going 7-1, ended up losing in four games against the great Simply Moxie in the finals, where it was super close. Holden won the first one, tie on the second one, barely loses the third one, and then ends up losing the last one in pretty convincing fashion. So, but congratulations. If you guys like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see everyone in the next video.